right, I'd like to start this meeting, the Ellettsville Town Council Zoom virtual
This
meeting.
meeting is being recorded.
May 26, 2020. And Sandy, can we do the roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Here.
Scott Oldham.
Here.
Hi, I didn't know you were here. William Ellis.
Here.
Trevor Sager.
Here.
Pamela Samples.
Here.
All right. Let's start out with the pledge. Mike, if you could lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to
Allegiance.
the flag of the United States and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jimmy, would you like to lead us in prayer?
Time and just thank you so much for the recovery so far that we've gone through. We thank you for the leadership you've given us, and we thank you for all the many blessings you've bestowed on this little town and those families and individuals represented here. Just be with us tonight, lead and guide our thoughts, lead and guide our understanding of what we need to do to betterment this town. We ask these things in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, guys. Okay, first thing on the agenda is approval of minutes for the Zoom meeting May 11th and executive session May 18th, 2020. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion second. Any council comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to approve the accounts payable vouchers and payroll. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any council comment? Any public comment? Sandy, roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Resolution 14, 2020, COVID-19, paid time off. Is this Sandy?
Darla.
Darla? Sorry.
That's okay. This is what I put together at the request of the council during the last meeting. It's my understanding the council wanted to award some additional benefits to those town employees who have been continuing to work in their regular jobs. And I think the council had determined that they wanted to award some PTO time in lieu of actual pay. And so this is what I came up with. It awards a one-time bonus of 48 hours of PTO to certain employees. The employees who have continued to work at their job but are part-time will receive PTA on a percentage bonus, on a percentage basis that's commensurate with the number of hours they've actually worked per week during the COVID crisis. And the PTO will not expire, but unused PTO will not be paid out when an employee separates from employment. So, and I did my best to capture what the council discussed in its last meeting. So obviously, if you have any revisions or corrections, let me know.
All right. Any council comment?
Just thank the employees. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. We vote on this, right? Yeah, resolution.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Who was second?
Trevor will second on that.
Okay. All right. Any council comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, Sandy, roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, sorry, I lost connection there. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't get I didn't hear the motion or the roll call. What was it total?
It carried 100% voted for.
Okay, thank you. All right, ordinance on first reading, ordinance 2020-19, amendment to the 2020 salary ordinance, 2019-22, fixing the salary for 2020. Darla again or Sandy?
Sandy.
Okay, Sandy.
Yes, after we started the budget year, 2 of the utility employees earned a certification, which adds an additional $250 to their salary. And I had not accounted for that in the salary ordinance. So I want to adjust their salaries to include their certification pay. And then the other, Department of Justice that does our OWI and DUI grants changed their policy. It used to be that when you worked grant, you got time and a half rate of the lowest paid patrolman's time and a half rate. And that has been changed to your personal time and a half rate. So I just had to change a little bit of the wordage to not restrict or overpay. So I kind of took out the language on the amount per hour and just said it would be paid at time and a half of the officer's pay.
Any council comment? Okay, seeing none. Is there any public comment on this? And we are not voting on this.
Nope, it's just first reading.
So we are going down all the way to privilege of the floor. Anyone in the audience have anything? Boy, I'm having trouble here, guys. Hang with. Okay, I don't see anyone. Supervisor's comments. We'll start with Jimmy Darnell. Jimmy? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. No, thank you, Dan. I appreciate your support on the extra time. And no, I have nothing right now. We're still sailing along pretty good shape, though. We haven't had any illness connected to the virus, so we're thankful for that. Sorry, I got mixed up on where I was supposed to be there. So.
Oh, that's all right. I get that often. All right, Kip, do you have any?
Yeah, I just want to let the council know that I did get contacted today by All Star Paving out of Orleans, Indiana, and they will be in the Arrowhead subdivision tomorrow, and they'll be start milling probably for the next couple days. And then I believe he said like maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday, have it all paved and hopefully be done by this weekend. But weather forecast ain't looking too good for the next couple of days. So let's hope for the best there. So that's about all I've got to let the council know.
Okay. Kevin Tully.
Nothing from us. Everything's still running smooth.
All right. Mike Corman.
Everything's good on our end.
All right. Mike Farmer, are you here?
I am here. Excuse me. Everything's pretty normal. By Thursday, the complete workforce should be back at work, full schedule, daily routine. We started the McNeely Tank project today, and there'll actually be a crew on site putting up the rigging for the McNeely Tank repaint and repair. It'll take 5 weeks. Weather permitting, we're going to start cutting ground tomorrow behind the town hall, put in the new road to a future maintenance building site. Everything's going good, so really have nothing else.
Hey, Mike, on the new road, are you blacktopping? How are you doing that?
Oh, here's the plan. I still do not have a a good understanding. I still need to talk to Darla, and I believe we may need to talk to somebody else as well about the ability to use the secondary water leftover funds, the funds we didn't use, I should say, to incorporate into the maintenance building. With that said, there's a lot of work to do prior to building the building and spending money on the actual construction. So the road is something that we'd planned. And so the first thing we need to do is cut the road in, put deuces in, build up a firm base for future paving. We will pave it, curb it, stormwater, water, sewer, all that will go in at a later date, but we need the road cut in and stoned so we can get back to the site. And I've got a couple of logging firms that want to quote coming in and giving us price for clearing the site. That would be the second step. And then after that's done, then we'll start talking about actual construction. So the first thing we need is a road so we can bring big trucks in there and do some preliminary work logging.
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Did I miss anyone? Sandy, do you have any?
Nope, we're good at the clerk's office.
Okay.
I have a question for Mike.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike, when the county's order for the executive order is ending, I believe the 31st, so in a couple of days here, what are our towns for what are the plans for modifying or access to town hall and things like that?
Well, we've been operating successfully without opening the town hall. And for my money and considerations, I would say we leave the town hall closed to the public for at least another 2 weeks. If the board wants to open it, then my suggestion would be to open the lobby up so people could come in if they needed to. But we have been so successful on continuing with business without having it open. And the fact that the pandemic, even if we've hit the high point of a curve, when you go down the hill, you're just as high up as when you go up the hill for a long time. And so I suggest that we keep it closed for 2-4 weeks. If we keep it closed till the 4th of July, it wouldn't, I wouldn't think it would be going too far as being careful, but that is a board decision.
Well, my thoughts, and just kind of want to feel everybody out from this. What if we did open the lobby up, but limited to one person at a time? Because I don't think the lobby's big enough to handle more than one person and stay 6 feet apart. And then in those rare circumstances where they do actually have to sit down and meet with someone, they do need to have a face mask or something.
Yeah,
to help guard.
We had several rules to allow the lobby to open up, and we've asked people if they'd wear a mask to come in, asked them to make it by appointment only. And we could come up with some parameters that would allow the lobby to open, and that, once again, is a board decision. Unless you leave it up to me.
What's everyone else's thoughts?
I'd like to see the lobby opened to people coming to pay their bill. But some people like to pay cash, and I don't think it would hurt somebody, because they do already have a shield between them to hand money through there.
I would say that a lot of places are not accepting cash right now, which seems very odd, but the preferred method of payment has been debit cards.
I think in the long run, guys, I'll be, I guess, the odd man out here. I would prefer we leave it closed. For the simple fact of it, we do have such a small workforce. And again, Mike is correct. Let's let everything settle for a little bit, because if it gets into town hall, it's likely to affect both the clerk's office and the utilities department. And then we really don't have a whole lot of more people to go to. Likewise, I don't know that we can legally refuse cash to pay a bill.
Probably not.
Yeah. I think a business might, but we're not a business, we're a government. So
Well, and if we don't open up, you're not going to use a debit card either.
well, they can
So
call
it's
it that.
going to be checks, right? Because you can't put cash in the thing, and obviously you can't use a debit card if you don't go in. So
I think
Well-
if somebody's got an issue, they can schedule an appointment to come in and they can work out whatever.
And they can pay by phone with a debit card. And we also offer direct withdrawal, and they can pay through their banks.
How many instances have we had where someone has wanted to come into the town hall in the past 2 weeks, or since we've been back to staff in there?
I
can't answer. I can't answer that.
Sandy, have you noticed anyone?
Today, Becky she put on her mask and met a man, customer in the entrance outside the door, and he had a mask on too. That's the first time I've seen her meet face to face with anyone, but you know, I've been working reduced hours, so this is my first full week back. Could have definitely happened without my knowledge. But Becky did tell me that they've been able to work really well with new services and disconnects just over the phone and people scanning their documents. The biggest thing is getting a new service when you're purchasing a home. And there's quite a bit of paperwork, but people have been willing to scan that in and email it. And I did hear Becky on the phone today when I was waiting on her, talking to someone, telling them the required documents. And she has commented that that's working really well.
And the drop-off box has been used a lot. I mean, it's ready to be unloaded every morning.
I think the reason, guys, I'd like to wait just is, again, let's see what happens. Both the city and the county have a much bigger workforce, but B, a much bigger atrium to work in than what our folks do. Let's just give it a couple more weeks. If we're maintaining what we've got going, it's not a giant hassle for anybody. The employees have all been very accommodating with folks who had special circumstances. Let's just go a little bit longer before we open it back up, period.
And I'll give you a report tomorrow on the comings and goings of people that have wanted to come in the office. I really don't think there's hardly been anybody that's tried to come into the office. Of course, we've advertised it as closed, so I don't know how much that has to do with it. But I'll get a report for you as far as we're getting ready to do our next month's billing, and I'll give you a report on how the payment process is doing under the circumstances.
Okay, Kevin Toller, do you have a question or a comment?
Well, I was going to say, as far as meeting with people, I would like to be able to set up appointments, because occasionally I have had people bring in large sets of plans and other things that I don't know how else to meet with them on.
Haven't we been doing it by appointment?
I mean, I've met a couple of people by appointment already. I just want to know if that's fine going forward or if I need to do something else.
I mean, how many times have someone wanted to see the planning department, Sandy? Do you know? Have they come to the front area or?
No, the building's locked.
Okay.
And they have their own number. So if people want them, they call and leave voicemail.
So Kevin, how many have you had call or want to meet with you since?
We probably had a few people every week. And I mean, there's only been 2 or 3 that I actually needed to meet with.
Okay. And where have you been meeting with them at? Inside the conference room or?
I'm sorry.
I've opened up the council room and we have a table back there to set plans out on.
Okay. Well,
Dan?
Yes, go ahead.
And I'm fine with that. I thought we was talking about opening up the lobby as opposed to, I mean, the town hall's not close to essential business. And I think commercial ventures and people that have any planning issues that make appointments and we receive them back in the meeting room where we have plenty of distancing ability. I think that's fine. And maybe it's as simple as putting a sign up on the outside door out front with the planning's phone number. They can call. Everybody has a cell phone. They can call and we can receive them even then if it's deemed necessary by Kevin.
Dan?
Yes, Jimmy.
We've had no problem. We've had several people make appointments for us, and Leah puts her mask on and takes her paperwork and takes care of it. So I think we got a nice sign out front. And usually Sandy calls me when somebody can't get a hold of us, and they run right over to the town hall. And, I haven't heard from Sandy in the last 3 months, so I assume everything's going okay. So
I would like to ask too. We talked about earlier having a plan commission meeting. Kevin, where do we stand on that?
Everyone I talked to was up for a meeting in person. So that's what's been scheduled.
Is the town council okay with that?
So is that the first Thursday, right?
It's the second Thursday. What day is it? It's the 11th.
It's the 11th.
Okay. So June 11th, we're having a planning commission meeting. I thought it was the first Thursday.
It's usually the first Thursday, but there were a couple holidays and some other reasons. May, June, and July all got pushed back a week.
Okay. Guys, I'm either way. I mean, we do have the lobby with a glass enclosure. I like the idea of when we do start opening that one person in the lobby, all that, but I can go either way on this. So it's whatever the council wants to do on this. I'm fine either way.
I just think if we leave it closed right now, then we control the parameters of the encounter. If it's open, anybody walks in at any time. So if you're making a by appointment, then the individual department heads can say, look, we're going to provide you a mask, or you need to wear a mask, and where we're going to meet them, rather than just having somebody pop up in the lobby that's unprepared for what we need them to do.
And we can set up some signs addressing that, and we can make that work.
We've been meeting in the garage. We opened both doors, and we set a table up and maybe a couple chairs.
Well, Dan, if I may.
Sure.
So going back and forth here, talking about having a meeting. So just call me crazy, but is anybody interested in my idea of setting up the tents behind the town hall and utilizing more space, more distancing ability? People that want to come to the meeting can bring their own chairs, as far as I'm concerned, and we can set up tables to allow the board to set distance and put some serious air between everybody. I don't know if anybody's interested in that, but this time of year, it seems like a really great idea for me. But I'd take some credit here.
I would not want that. I mean, we're contingent on the weather, and not just storms, but it could be 90 something degrees, and I'd prefer not.
Okay.
And I think someone brought up the comment too that cats wouldn't be able to tape it, so we wouldn't have any PA system at the last meeting, if I'm correct. But I don't know. I've not seen the tents, Mike, so I really couldn't tell you. What size are the tents anyway?
We got two, the 16 by 32. We actually have sides that go on them with windows on it. I'm setting one up, and you can make your own mind up. If I set it up, it won't hurt anything, and I'll let you make up your own mind.
Okay.
Mike, are you thinking about?
Yeah.
Mike, are you thinking about doing this for our next meeting in June?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I was thinking we'd try it out for the planning meeting. And then, William, what I was thinking is, if push comes to shove, and if it's too hot or if it's rain, then we would move it inside. But I don't know if you can tell, but I'm being very cautious about getting ahead of ourselves as far as going back to business as usual. I want business as usual as much as anybody, but we It's lucky to be good and it's good to be lucky. But right now, I think we've had a little both to get as far as we have without any serious, anything serious with the Ellettsville family, the crews, and our workforce. And so I like the idea of staying cautious so we can get through this, maybe even unscathed.
As far as the plan commission meeting, I really would not want to do that outside. I do all of my presentations through PowerPoint.
Sure.
It makes things very difficult to show any visual anything really, for that matter. Both myself and Denise have gone through the council meeting room. There should be more than enough room to spread out all of our plan commission members, myself, Darla, Denise, and our audience, which we really won't have much of one anyway. But I don't think it'll be a problem. We could open the doors for a little air circulation. But other than that, I think we have plenty of room to do that inside.
Kevin, I missed it. How many people are in your meetings?
Plan commission, we have 7 members plus myself, Denise, and Darla. So there's 10 altogether, and maybe 5 or 6 people in the crowd most of the time.
As long as it's not a public hearing. Sometimes that draws a little more people.
I mean, they're all public hearings, but one will probably bring in a few people. The other one is a simple annexation. I know there won't be much on that, so it shouldn't. I don't anticipate there being a crowd inside.
Are we going to ask the people who come in to wear masks?
I've talked it over with Darla, and we're not sure if we can require it. We've strongly suggested it, and I'm going to suggest it to both the Plan Commission members and the petitioners.
I think you can suggest it. I think until the town council passes an ordinance, I'm not sure you can force people to wear masks or remove them if they don't. I think you can strongly suggest it.
That same go for the 6 feet of separation too?
Yeah, I would.
Yes.
What I suggested to Kevin is when he put the public notices out for the meetings is that he state at the bottom of the notices that the Plan Commission was going to abide by CDC guidelines and any local Monroe County Board of Health guidelines. And we'll see what happens. But that would include the 6 feet of separation, yes.
So our meeting is when? June 8th, and the Planning Commission will be June 11th. So I guess we need to be discussing the our meeting first, because our meeting will be before theirs then. So are we doing it at Town Hall or not? How does the council feel?
I think if we're keeping the lobby closed, we need to stay on Zoom, my opinion.
There was one communication from the state that access counselor that said we had the ability to use Zoom through March 4th. Has that been updated, Darla?
March 4th?
No, I'm sorry, June 4th.
Well,
yeah, I don't think so.
So that means we'll have to be in person.
When is the governor going to go to stage 3, or when is he supposed to speak? Is that this week, or does anyone know? William?
I don't think it matters because it's really dependent on Monroe County Health Department.
True.
We're a week behind the governor so far.
So Darla, just so we're hearing this right, Zoom meetings have to come to an end June 4th.
I believe that's true, but I'll double check on that for you and let you know.
Thanks.
So if that's true, then we definitely will have the planning or the council meeting before the Planning Commission. So Kevin, we'll be able to try it out for you and see how it goes. Because I am kind of worried about the Planning Commission being spread out because there's so many of us. So we'll have to put extra tables on the side, I think.
Well, we figured.
Go ahead.
We figured we would set it up with there's room for 3 commission members up front and 2 at each of the side tables. And I'll probably hang out at the computer where the overhead projector is. There's another table where I think the newspaper would sit. We'll have set up for Darla and have another table for Denise to do minutes.
Okay. All right. Well,
I have another question for Darla, just so we dot all our I's and cross our T's. The resolution we passed in March delegating to Mike Farmer, did that also include reopening?
Well,
do we need to pass a new one?
I was just going to suggest that you modify that resolution, because the resolution, and I'm referring to Resolution 1120, which enacted your COVID emergency operations policies. You passed that, the town council passed on April 27th. And in that resolution, you said that access to the municipal buildings would be restricted to town employees and other persons deemed essential by the town manager, the chief of police, the fire chief, and the town clerk treasurer. Number 2, the town hall is closed to the public. The other elements, I think, are going to expire. But at the end of the resolution, you said that the resolution would remain in full force and effect until Governor Holcomb revoked or rescinded his declaration, or the town council passed a new resolution that replaced or superseded this resolution. I suggest that it would be appropriate to pass or to make a motion to amend Resolution 11-2020 as follows. The town hall is closed to the public until further notice, except by appointment, and access to other municipal buildings is limited to appointments only. Is that what I heard everybody say, or not? Or you wanted the town hall closed, but planning department was by appointment only?
I think appointment only for everything. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree with it.
Here's the only caveat that concerns me just a little bit. Both police and fire are emergency services that have call boxes in their lobbies for emergencies. I don't want to restrict somebody that has a true emergency from running in there and pushing the call box.
Can we make an exception for that?
Yeah, it was an exception of police and fire. Can you just add that in, Darla?
Just add in something to the effect of, restricted for normal business, emergencies are exempt.
All right, someone's going to make a motion to amend Resolution 11-2020 to amend it to read as follows. Access to the town of Ellettsville's municipal buildings is restricted to town employees and other persons deemed essential by the town manager, the chief of police, the fire chief, and the town clerk treasurer. And except for emergency calls. Number 2, the Ellettsville Town Hall is closed to the public, except that the planning department is open by appointment only. Did I get it?
Do we need to put an expiration date in there, or who makes the decision?
Until further amended by the town council.
Okay.
all right, I like that.
So moved.
Who said that?
I did.
Dan?
Scott.
Scott, thank you.
Is there a second?
I'll second that one.
Okay, any council comment? Any public comment? Sandy, roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pam Samples,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, so where were we at? We were still in supervisor's comments, right?
And the Zoom meeting for next time, Darla, you'll just kind of let us know by email before I need to post the agenda what we can do.
I will.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so let's go to council comments. Any other council member have any comments or questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in, or Sandy, roll call?
Dan Swafford,
Yes.
Scott Oldham,
Yes.
William Ellis,
Yes.
Trevor Sager,
Yes.
Pamela Samples.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. See y'all.